Welcome to Millennials Looking for Mentors. I'm Klein Eliardi.
And I'm Elyse Notariani, and thank you to Jefferson Health, New Jersey for sponsoring this episode.
Today we're talking with Digna Townsend, who is the confidential aide to Camden County Commissioner Director Lou Cappelli Jr.
But first, happy Valentine's Day. Should we say Valentine's Day?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm single. Okay,
You say that.
Let's do
Okay. Also, I'll wish you a happy Valentine's Day. And then I can tell you how I accidentally how I was accidentally mean to John about his flowers that he bought me. I didn't mean to. Anyway.
What did you do?
Okay, well, I was gone all day Saturday and then I came home and it was a very long day. It was not a fun day. And then I came home on Saturday night and he had chocolates and flowers for me, which was so sweet. And I really love flowers. But he was so proud because he picked them out himself and they were pink and white carnations. And I just,
that's like the cheesy ones, right?
Yeah. So it was like hours later and he was telling me about going to the store with his friend Adam to go pick out flowers. And I was like, oh, did you pick these out or did
I know
Adam
both
help
of them?
you?
Neither of them should be picking out flowers.
I know.
And that's not like a comment on men. That is these two specific people.
And so I was like, oh, like who picked them? I was like, well, I did. Like, is there a problem? Like, it seems like there was a problem. It's like, no, there's not. I mean, like in the future, I don't know that carnations are the move. I was trying to be as diplomatic as possible because they're very pretty. I was very appreciative. I love anytime that like he buys me flowers. But I just wanted to set the standard going forward because I assume there will be more Valentine's Days to come. I don't think I was as tactful as I thought that I was going to be though, because now he like in the middle of the Super Bowl party, he was like, hey, Elise, tell everyone how you told me about your cheap flowers.
Oh my God.
I felt so bad. So I went out and I got him a nice bottle of tequila and was like, happy Valentine's Day.
Really, when I get into a relationship, I don't want flowers. I want like a bottle of fill in the blank.
That is fair.
All right. Well, now that we've talked about our holidays and how weird they are, should we talk to Digna?
Probably. I think she's got something more coherent than we do.
Yeah, probably. First of all, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, especially as a new mother, right? Not like relatively new mother, it's still new mother.
Yeah, brand new.
So thank you so much for making time. I feel like this is a cliche question, but at the same time, I do think it's important. Has having a child and becoming a mother, has that changed your job on a daily? I mean, that's a dumb question. How has having a child? I literally was just like,
we're gonna assume yes.
Change happened since like giving birth to an actual human being.
I know. And honestly, day to day, I'm like, wow, I really have a whole human child. Yeah. When I was pregnant, I didn't know how much I would change. Because my job has always been number one, and I've always been just work, like constantly. And I've always buried myself in my work because that is what I love to do. And I mean, although I still love my job, I still love what I do, I now have him that I have to put first. And luckily, Lou, the commissioner director, he's awesome and is understanding with a whole pandemic. So it's definitely been a life changer. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, while you're in it and you're working, you have like your day to day, like it doesn't feel as stressful on your body. But when I say like at the end of the day, when I was pregnant, it was just like really rough, but it was definitely an experience to say the least. All the moms out there doing it, kudos to y'all. It's amazing. It is.
Has it come with any kind of identity shift? Because I know with a lot of people, aka with me, who work a lot all the time, you kind of see yourself as, like I'm a career person, I've got to work, like this is what my big focus is, and then all of a sudden you're a mom first. And like,
are like reading my mind. I was literally just today talking to a friend. She works full time and she has a son, and I was just like really like venting to her, like this is harder than I expected it to be, because I'm trying to balance work, I'm trying to balance him. It's a lot, it really is. And I don't know, I feel like I've been around so many women that have done it and done it effortlessly and never complain. I'm like, you guys are super women. But yeah, I definitely have been having to reevaluate myself and put my priorities in a different structure that, you know, like works for me, because I still have to take care of myself mentally and make sure I'm taking care of my child. And luckily I have the greatest husband ever, who's the best.
Is there something that you maybe wish you had known or were surprised by like before you had your son?
Yeah, honestly, to be frank, like the hormones. And I read every book, I read everything, but I didn't know like the hormones would be real. Like after you have a child, like your hormones are like unbalanced. Like sometimes you feel sad, sometimes you might feel happy. It's really like an imbalance, and over time, like your body has to balance itself again. And I'm only three months since I had him, so luckily, I can't say it enough, I have people in my life and friends and mentors that I lean on, because you need to talk to somebody, you know. So that has been a huge change. Again, my work life balance has been a huge change, because I have to put him first, and I can't bury myself in work all the time. I gotta make sure I'm leaving at a certain time to
that's what I keep thinking of, because first of all, first question, are you back at work?
Yeah, I'm back at work.
Wow, that's amazing. But that's what I always think of, because the amount of times that I've worked late, like worked until like 10 to get something done, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's fine, because I have literally nothing else in my life to worry about. It's just me. And the idea that the second like one other person comes into your life, like I'm thinking about getting a dog, and I'm like, oh, but
and it'll take every second of your time and attention away from being able to work late.
Since you are back, I mean, especially with the hormones, how do you balance that with work, with being at work? I assume, I mean, especially your position, you probably have to keep your cool. And personally speaking, just from weird PMS, I've lost it before. So I can't imagine.
I feel like you can't go to your boss and be like, yeah, I'm going to do my job, but I'm back and I'm really happy to be here, but I might start crying in a minute. I just can't tell you why.
Well, definitely it's a thing, but luckily, and one thing I can say, I pray constantly. Like I think prayer has been something that has always helped me day to day. It helped me with everything. So if I'm feeling like stressed out or tense, I'm going to pray. I'm going to do a quick prayer, and then also like communicating effectively and not trying to get angry or letting those emotions take over. That's one thing. You have to be able to control yourself, and luckily with prayer and patience and talking it out, I feel like I try to do that without losing it.
What is your go-to self-care, me time, reset activity?
Driving. Like since COVID, like I love to take a nice drive. Like I don't have to go anywhere far, but I'm gonna drive, and my destination 9 times out of 10 will be Target. And
amazing.
Target, it's amazing. Who doesn't love Target? You have everything there. You have food, you have diapers, everything, clothes. Everything. So I love a good Target run.
Your self-care is my immediately will put me in a bad mood, because my road rage since moving to South Jersey, since moving to this area, my road rage has been unmatched.
Actually, the New Jersey Instagram account today posted, because it's today Groundhog's Day, or was it yesterday Groundhog's Day?
Yes,
today.
Okay. So for Groundhog's Day, they posted a picture of them holding up the groundhog, and the groundhog was saying, "People in Pennsylvania can't drive." And I was like, yes.
Wait,
No, I'm not a good driver. I just yell at people.
Klein, I literally just reposted that like an hour ago. I'm not kidding.
Yes.
It's so true. It's so true. Like, I love Philly. I love you all.
It's so accurate.
It's so
no,
aggressive.
I'm to the point where I'm like yelling at people while I'm not driving. Like I'm standing in a crosswalk screaming at people like, yeah, we don't have to stop anymore.
Yeah, it happens. So I have heard the phrase confidential aide to blank a million times, and I have no idea what that means.
It's probably by design. It's confidential.
True. Well, that's also, I'm not gonna lie, I hear confidential aid and I'm like, so Secret Service, like,
right?
So can you tell us a little bit about what actually happens in your day-to-day?
Definitely. I think the name is a little more intense than what the role is. You know?
It's a cool name. It's a cool name.
It is a cool name. I love it. I really do. But being a confidential aide to a commissioner is pretty much being an aide, a right hand, and helper, pretty much. Day to day, I'm assisting with constituent emails. I'm taking calls from, it could be from a road issue. The crazy part, and I just am understanding this, there's county roads, there's state roads, and there's municipal roads. I know, it sounds crazy.
Oh my God.
But yeah, there's different roads. So you have to kind of figure out, luckily Camden County has a great website where everything's listed. I know this is sounding really boring, but every county road is listed on this website. So
are there some maybe skills or technology skills that people who want to get into government maybe should have in their back pocket or would be really helpful for them to know?
That's a great question. One thing I could say is there's always like a tech needed, you know, like there's always a tech needed for social media and communications. I think being able to write is key 101. And I want to be honest, when I started in government, my writing skills were horrid, and they're still not great. I'm going to be honest. But I had a mentor, and and if I could say her name, Mary Cruz, like Mary Cruz is the district director and chief of staff for Donald Norcross, Congressman Donald Norcross, and Mary is one of the greatest people to this day. But we had a real conversation, and she's like, you got to work on this. And it was hard to hear, but it was true. My writing is just not the greatest. And just her guidance and being truthful to me was just so important. But writing's important. Communication outside of writing, you know, just being able to talk to people. I think a lot of people really truly aren't really great at that nowadays because we're so used to doing things online.
How did you improve your writing?
Great question. I wrote more. I wrote more from my writing. I asked more people to proofread my writing.
Klein's my go-to proofreader. Right? I'm known for a quick typo, so
me too.
She's very good at it.
And I have such a perfectionist, crippling perfectionism that I cannot send something out with a typo.
That's good though.
So tell us a little bit about your background before this, because I know you worked in campaigns for a while, and you started out in what, grassroots advocacy?
Yeah, definitely. So my story kind of started back, I would say 2012. I was volunteering for our former Senate President, Steve Sweeney, down in Gloucester County. I learned so much. I was still in high school. My friends were like going to parties and stuff, and I would be rushing down to my local Democratic office.
Love it.
See, I wasn't going to parties, but I also wasn't doing that.
So. I was just home.
Me too. Either home or there. And my parents was like, "Are you sure that's where you're going?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's really where I'm going." So.
That's really funny.
So were you doing like the door-to-door thing?
Yeah,
high school?
I was, but I had to have someone like a adult with me because I think I was under 18. So they were great with that.
But like, did you have to have an adult with you because they said you have to have an adult with you, or because you were nervous?
No, I think because they said I need. I mean, they wanted safety. They always made sure people were safe. And
that makes a lot of sense. 18-year-old me would rather go hide under a rock than have to talk to anyone else.
25-year-old
I
me
was
is
just
like
gonna
that.
say 22-year-old me isn't crazy about it either. Wasn't crazy about it either.
So I was gonna say, are you 22?
No.
No,
I'm not that young. Are you just that kind of person? Is there hope for the rest of us? Like, do you have tips for, like, putting yourself out there and really just owning it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm going to be truthful. It didn't come easy because, I mean, as kids, as we're taught, like, to be scared of walking up to a stranger's door and saying, "Hi, I'm Digna and I'm a volunteer with the local Democratic Party." Like, that's the last thing people want to talk about is politics on a Sunday at their front door. Let's be honest. They don't want to, and I understand it. But I had some really interesting conversations with people at their front door, and just one that I'm thinking of just most recently, the last presidential election, I did some canvassing, the door to door in South Philly, took off of work, and I was like, I gotta get out there. Like, I can't be working and knowing that this election's at stake. So I took the day off of work, go to South Philly. I'm knocking on doors. It's going great. Mind you, it's a Tuesday, like 10 a.m. So everyone's at work. I get it. Yep. Lots of people were not home. I get to this one door, right? And the door is actually open. So I'm like, oh, great. They're probably home. Knock. And might I add, we're in the middle of a pandemic. So it was really weird. So I knock on the door, I step back, and then this big, burly white guy comes toward me, terrified, shook, I'm scared. Come to the door, and he says, "Hi, how can I help you?" And I'm like, "Hi, I'm Digna, I'm with your local campaign." And we're start talking, and he said, "Oh, I'm so happy you're here. I'm actually going to the polls. This election's too important not to vote." He said, "I have a 12-year-old son here, and his son was home." I don't know why he was home, but he was. And he was just saying, like, this election is so important. We have to get out there and vote. Everything is so separated. He's like, "I hate it." I don't know. It made me so happy to knock on his door. Like, I probably spoke to like 4 or 5 people, but after speaking with him, it just was like, I'm so happy I took the day off, because this one guy, but yeah, it was great. It was a great time.
That totally makes it worth it. Have you had the opposite? And maybe you don't have to like drop names and locations, but like, how do you get out of that situation?
Yeah, so definitely had opposites. A few other campaigns I was working. I actually went to Nebraska for 2016 presidential for Hillary for president, and the Midwest, they love their football, and we love our football too. Tri-State, go Eagles all day.
Yes,
we know that, but they love their Cornhuskers, and you cannot knock on the door on a Sunday. There's been situations happen. Yeah. You've been in, or I should say that I've been in some situations that have been a little scary. But luckily, personally, I mean, I haven't had anything too crazy. But there has been some situations, because it's politics. No one wants to talk about that at their front door. I mean, I do, come knock on my door, but some people just don't want to. So you just got to keep it going, and the next door will be a little easier.
Have there been people that you've been able to form really close relationships with and that have become mentors or people that you can turn to?
Definitely. Mentorship, I think, is just so important, definitely in this field, because there's a lot of men, and at times you don't know how to handle certain things, or you might have questions. You might not feel comfortable talking to certain people.
Do you see the diversity in either government or politics changing?
I mean, I would say yes. Okay. Definitely locally. One thing that brightens my heart is in Pennsauken. It was the first time a woman mayor has been selected, and then there's a woman deputy mayor. So it's amazing.
We love that.
Yeah, of course. It's great. And they're wonderful women, and they love their community, and they work really hard. So I think over the time we're starting to see more women mayors. We're starting to see women everywhere, and women of color and Hispanic women representing and being elected. I think our communities are changing, and I think the people that represent them should represent their community who's elected. So we're definitely seeing that locally, statewide, and federally, which is awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going to move to our final section. So it's called This or That, and you just pick one. We're going to give you two options. You pick. Okay. So the first one is working in the office or working from home.
So I'm a Libra, like I'm very like all over the place. So this is gonna be really hard for me. I'm gonna be honest. But
talk us through it. Talk us through it. We're here.
I'm gonna pick hybrid if okay. I like going in 1 day a week or 2 times a week and then working from home. I love that balance because just knowing that I have that day in the office, I could schedule certain things and do that. I don't like being fully home because I don't like being in the same place all the time. I love my house, but I like to, move around. So I'm going to go with hybrid. Sorry to be complicated.
I it's funny. Everyone's answered that.
See?
Like no one can commit.
I can.
I can't either. So like,
I'll say from home any day.
Both.
Home.
Oh no,
I'll say from home any day. So like solidly from home. So campaign door to door or a text campaign?
Oh my God, I love a good text campaign.
Ooh, okay.
This is why you're just clicking and you can get 300.
You're about the efficiency.
Literally, you could just, and then you can have 2 phones. And go blah, blah, blah. It's real efficient, but I love a good face-to-face, like face-to-face communication. Like, don't call me, like let's meet up, like let's talk face-to-face. I mean, with COVID and all, a little more complicated, but a good face-to-face is so important.
Digital calendar or paper like planner?
Hands down digital.
I keep not being the popular answer for this one.
But I think people that have like written calendars are super organized. Like they're usually like type A.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? Everyone says that. And then I'm like, no. I'm like, definitely not the case here.
See, I spent too long setting up my paper planner every day that it just became like too much of an inconvenience because I was too type A about it. So now it has to be digital just for like efficiency's sake.
And it's so quick. You just go, and 9 times out of 10, you're copying and then just creating the calendar.
That is true.
So convenient. I love it.
So much better. So from the road rage queen over here, highway drive or country road drive?
Ooh, I love a good 295, 55.
Okay.
Really? Love a good 295, just zooming down the road. I'm gonna go highway. Definitely.
I do. Okay. I get the draw. I get that.
County roads are great though. Just definitely when there's like animals around, it's just beautiful. But
this is weird. I'm about to talk about like my favorite road, but God, the one which Elyse will know the name of it. I don't know the name of it. The one along the Cooper River between the apartments and the river. It like
that's a great.
Oh, is that Cooper River Drive?
Is it? I think it is.
Did I make
on
that
the
up?
north side? I mean, I guess on the south side too.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Collinswood. It's so weird because like
yes,
that side's Collinswood, the other side's Pennsauken.
Yep. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I think that's such a peaceful drive.
If I could add one down in Gloucester County, there's Route 322, and it's the greatest road. Like it goes through so many towns. You'll go through some farms, you'll go through some like shopping areas. It's great. Nice. Check it out.
Best of everything.
I really, if you had told me, we're going to end up talking about great roads in South Jersey on this, I would have been like, no, we're not.
You know another good road? I'm sorry.
I love this.
Cowtown. Have you guys been to Cowtown recently?
No, but it is my life's dream to go to Cowtown.
We have to go to Cowtown.
I feel very passionately about this. I want to go to Cowtown so bad. Nobody will go
about doing an episode of South Jersey Summer with us. It might be Cowtown.
Jersey, Cowtown.
I know.
Like you have like these outdoor vendors, you have like the inside food, you have like people selling random lamps from furniture. It's great.
It's totally up your alley. Like,
I had a horse farm growing up. Like this is everything that I've lived for.
So much fun. I love it there. But that road is like real scenic.
I love that this is your thing. It makes me so happy. All right. Well, thank you so much for this talk. This was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank y'all for the invite, and this has been great, and I love talking to y'all.
Thank you, Digna, for coming to hang out with us today.
I did not expect, though, favorite roads to be a topic that we like hit on.
Yeah, I didn't either, but I'm here for it.
Oh, I love it. All right, so make sure you tune in every other week. We have new episodes of Millennials Looking for Mentors every other Wednesday.
Plus, if you know someone you want us to talk to, email us at mlfmpodcast@gmail.com.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.